Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suhei with Suhei Plans, and today I'm excited to reveal my new A5 Coach notebook. This notebook was not something I was expecting to purchase. In fact, this month, the month of July, is a no spend month for me. But I could not resist in picking up this notebook despite my no spend. And I think once we kind of go through it and I talk a little bit about it, you'll understand why I broke my promise and picked this notebook cover up. As a disclaimer, this is not a brand new unboxing. I did want to take a look at the cover before committing to keeping it. I wasn't quite sure. I wanted to see what it would look like in person. And when you see the design, you'll kind of understand why. But I wanted to make sure that it was kind of to my expectations. And now that I know that it is and I will be keeping the notebook, I wanted to jump on here and share. To be honest, this is my first and only notebook cover, Coach notebook cover. I haven't really been attracted to any of the covers before. The designs didn't really call to me. There's not a lot of pockets. There are no pockets in these covers. They only come in one size. So I was never quite like into them. I do own some Coach bags, so I'm familiar with the brand, but the notebook covers were kind of, they weren't really like anything that I was ever craving until this cover. And I think when you see the cover, you'll kind of see why I felt like the need to have this in my collection. Let's start by saying what it came in. And the shipping was really, really fast. I got it in a couple of days. It shipped the next day, received it 2 or 3 days after. Really quick shipping, which was great and free. I paid the regular price for this notebook. It wasn't on sale. I don't believe it's going to be, or it's not, and I don't believe it's going to be an outlet item. So it's just regular price, but that was okay with me. No coupons or anything that I could use with it, but again, that's fine. But this was a special cover and I needed to have it. So it came in let's see if I can grab that. It came in a pretty large like packaging box. I wish I could. I can't even fit the whole thing in my frame, but it had like this Coach embossing on it, and there was some like meat packing paper and tissue, and then the notebook was packed in this tissue inside. I'm kind of surprised and disappointed that it didn't come in a box, and I'm actually going to reach out to customer service and see like if that's normal, if that's how things are coming nowadays. But I was expecting it to be in a box. So not in a box, but definitely wrapped in this tissue paper with this Coach like sticker seal on it. And really that's how it came in. So I'll see what customer service says and I can put that in the comments after I find out. So I broke my no spend on this Coach notebook because of its design. The design is really, really special. Let's take a look. All right. Ta-da! So this Coach notebook is in collaboration with a designer whose name is Cody DeFranco, and he's a New York native, and he has really interesting, very modern art. And I was really attracted to this cover for its artistic inspiration. I loved the past and the present elements in this cover. I love how it's collage-like, and there were so many things about this cover that just screamed, pick this up. If I'm not sure if I've ever shared this on my channel before, but I'm a New York City native, born and bred. I lived there my entire life until I moved about 3 years ago to a different state. But I had lived, breathed, spent all of my days in New York. I met my husband in New York City. I was born in Harlem Hospital. My children were born in New York City. That is my like hometown. That is my stomping grounds. And this cover is an homage to New York City. And Coach was founded in New York City, right? So I love that it says New York Tour here. I love that you see like the skyline with like one of those blimpy, I forget what they're called, but the New York skyline there. And, so that like drew me in right away, the New York appeal. Then I kind of just loved how cool and modern and yet vintage the lettering on the cover was. This says Festival of Love and this says Beauty. I just think that it looks so cool with the kind of contrast of the very like almost touristy looking stamp here that I think is super cool. There's like a vintage Rexy, which is that Coach kind of mascot, so to speak. And I loved that right smack in the middle, you have the classic Coach duffel. Selling at $146, definitely that's a vintage price. And just kind of like a little blurb that gets cut off. Kind of like almost like in a newspaper advertisement of the bag. And what's really cool and that what really attracted me also about this notebook cover is that I own this bag. I love this bag. This bag is my first Coach purchase. Let me show it to you guys real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to get it in camera, but I own a classic Coach duffel. And this was my first bag. I fell in love with the classic vibes and like the vintage look and like timelessness of it all. And I was just like, whoa. Not only does this notebook resonate with me because of the New York vibes, but also because I own this bag and this was my first Coach bag purchase. That just really like called to me. So as you're already kind of seeing, there's a lot of significance. I love this bag. There's a lot of significance with this notebook and my personal life. So it was just absolutely screaming my name. I love this sun, also like moon design that looks like it can be both. I'm a very celestial person, so I loved that. I kind of love that the logo clearly says Coach, but the way that the letters just like blend into one another, I just think is a cool design element that I don't think like screams Coach, if that makes sense. It's kind of like subtle and it's not super logoed, if that makes sense. So I really like that element about the lettering. If you can tell, the cover itself behind all of the elements is like a tie-dye, almost like de-stressed denim color with some darker navy. And I just really also liked the vintage appeal of that. It screams 90s to me. I'm an 80s baby, so the 90s was really a time where I discovered my own sense of style, my own sense of fashion, and just so much about this cover reminded me of, discovering my own, fashion sense and the things that I wanted to wear to kind of represent myself. So all of those things were just screaming my name. Let me show you the back. So here's the back again. It's that beautiful like tie-dye print, kind of distressed denim vibes. I just love that. It says Coach on the strap here in the back, and it's a turn clock design in the front. And again, this cover, the moon and sun, the lettering, the logo, the duffel bag, all of these things just created a very nostalgic and emotional reaction when I saw this cover. when I opened it up, when I saw it online, and then when I opened it up from the bag, it was just like love at first sight. I feel myself in this cover. You know, there are a lot of things that we purchase because they look cute and they're nice and they look elegant, but like how many things do we own actually like connect to who we are? This does that for me. I loved the turn lock. I think that that's very like Coach inspired, and I love that element. Inside, this is plain leather here. You have like this cardboard piece, and then you have an A5 notebook that's already provided. I'll untuck that. This cardboard, and you can see more of that beautiful distressed kind of tie-dye look that I think is awesome. And then just with like a debossed logo there that talks a little bit about the Coach notebook, which I think is awesome. And there's a little made in Vietnam in the middle there. Something that I noticed when I unboxed the cover is that my cover, the tie-dye background to my cover is different than the tie-dye background on the stock image on the product's website. So that means that if you pick up this notebook, each one will be slightly different. Each one is going to have a slightly different placement for the tie-dye. And I think that makes this cover that much more special. I'm just like blown away. The cover on the product website has a lot more midnight color in the back. My cover has a lot of that light distressed denim color. And I love that I have so much of it in the strap. I just think it's awesome. I'm obsessed with this cover. Let's go. Let's see the notebook. So the notebook is pretty basic. Has like this acetate plastic cover. Coach thin cardstock cover, lined paper. I don't believe this is super high quality at all, but you know, it's fine. And each of the notebooks come with these little like blurbs at the bottom about Coach that I think is really cute actually. Not sure that I'm going to use the notebook, but I don't know. We'll see. There was one fun fact, or like Coach facts that I liked. Where is it? Oh man, let's see. All right, so this one, Coach was founded by 6 artisans in a New York City loft in 1941. Guess who was also founded in New York City? Maybe not 1941, but you know, this is my home and this is where I'm from. And I don't live there anymore, but boy, you know, and I'm not gonna go as far to say that I miss living in New York. That's a whole nother video. And now that I have children, my priorities really have changed as well. But that doesn't mean that I don't miss where I'm from. That doesn't mean that I don't, you know, still resonate with what it's like to be a New Yorker. You're always a New Yorker for life, no matter where you go. But having this notebook as a way to touch and feel home, I thought was really nice. And I'm really excited to have it in my collection. And so that is the Coach A5 notebook in... Oof. I'm not really quite sure what to title this cover. I would say that it's, you know, like this navy multi, like color is the color, or the design. It's navy multi, but it's really an artist collaboration. And I think I was really surprised that the artist collaboration notebook was the same price as the Rexy notebook. Because I think, you know, this is really special. An artist designed this. This is artwork. And I just absolutely cannot stand how gorgeous it is and how excited I am to have this in my collection. And I'm jumping right in. Excuse me. Several A5 notebooks fit in here. My Freely Noted fits, the Hobonichi cousin fits, Stylogy A5 fits, although none of them fit with a plastic cover. They only fit without a plastic cover, but they all fit. So you really shouldn't have any trouble fitting even a thick notebook in this cover. I'd love to hear your thoughts and what you kind of think. You know, is there something in your collection that just really like pulls at your heartstrings, that really has like significance to your life, to your story? I'd love to kind of hear if you have anything like that in your collection. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Please don't hesitate. Thank you so much for watching, y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.